the story of a Native American chief who drove the Spanish off his lands and almost drove the English off too is one of the most incredible tales of courage and strategy from the era of European colonization. Long before the Mayflower, long before Jamestown, the land that would become New England was home to a multitude of Native American tribes. The largest of these was the Confederacy of the Great Lakes, a collection of nations bound together by language, culture, and a shared history. At the time of first contact with the Europeans, these tribes were not a monolithic bloc. They were a collection of independent nations, each with their own distinct identity and interests. The leader of one such nation was a chief known to his people as the Great War Chief. His name, which translates to something like big voice, was a reflection of his booming voice and larger-than-life personality. But it was his military prowess that made him a legend. When the French began exploring and trading in the region, the Great War Chief saw both the opportunities and the dangers that they presented. He understood the value of the new tools and firearms the Europeans had to offer, but he was wary of their aggressive tactics and land-hungry ways. As the French and the British began to encroach further into native lands, the Great War Chief took a stand. He formed alliances with neighboring tribes, creating a coalition that would come to be known as the Confederacy of the Six Nations. Together, they fought back against the European invaders, repelling their attacks and forcing them to retreat. The Great War Chief's military genius was on full display during the Battle of Lake Erie in 1687. With just 500 warriors, he managed to ambush and defeat a much larger force of French and British soldiers. It was a resounding victory that showcased the strength and skill of the Native American military forces. In the aftermath of the battle, the Great War Chief emerged as a symbol of resistance against European colonization. His name became synonymous with the struggle for land and freedom in the face of overwhelming odds. Although he eventually passed away, his legacy lived on through the continued resistance of the Confederacy of the Six Nations, and the memory of his deeds was kept alive through stories and songs for generations to come. This is an untold story from Native American history. To learn more about the Great War Chief and the Confederacy of the Six Nations, check out the provided resources. And stay tuned for more historical tales from around the world.